Hey everyone, it's me, your sister in Christ, Arlene Jackson. I hope all is well. This is the word that I heard on Sunday, August 13th, around 5 a.m. As I was praying, I saw myself with air tubes in my nostrils, and it was from a procedure that I recently had done, and it was like the Lord was flashing that image in my mind. And as I saw myself with those air tubes in my nose, this is what I heard the Lord say. He said air pollution to affect breathing with a bioweapon to produce a plague that causes cancerous tumors. But the atmosphere of the righteous shall be protected. He said, but the atmosphere of the righteous shall be protected. And so after I heard this word, the Lord started leading me to focus, and he was kind of like honing in on that, but the atmosphere of the righteous shall be protected, because he wanted me to understand what that meant. And so I just want to briefly share what the Lord spoke to me about how he's going to protect the atmosphere of the righteous when this thing comes, which he did not share any of those details. But furthermore, I want to share what he showed me concerning why he's protecting the righteous. And when we talk about an atmosphere, I just want to be clear on what we're talking about. We're talking about what surrounds you. The earth is surrounded by an atmosphere. We are surrounded by an atmosphere. An atmosphere affects the land and the people. So for example, and this is the example the Lord gave me, Goshen was a land in Egypt where the children of Israel lived. And even though Goshen was a physical place in Egypt, Goshen spiritually represented the atmosphere of heaven, where God's people in that land were protected and preserved by God. So the people who lived in the land of Goshen did not experience the same atmosphere that affected the people in the land of Egypt. Those who lived in Goshen did not experience the same atmosphere of plagues, darkness, and death that affected the people of the land of Egypt. And so God says in that same way with Israel, that Israel was protected in Goshen from the atmosphere of plagues, darkness, and death, so shall the righteous be protected through God's means of protection and provision, which will come from him to affect our natural environment. It's going to be God's means of protection that's going to come from him that will affect our natural environment. And when God's means intersect with man's natural environment, that's what we call supernatural. So God's means of protecting the righteous will be of the supernatural. Let me say that again. God's means for protecting the righteous from whatever this plague or virus that's going to come, if it's not already been released, I don't know. I'm not saying it is, but whatever the Lord is saying, he's saying his provision is going to be supernatural, far above the natural realm of man. His supernatural protection will operate far above the natural realm where man operates. But it's not just how God will protect the righteous, but the Lord wants you to understand why he will protect the righteous. Exodus 8:22-23 says, but on that day I will give special treatment to the land of Goshen, where my people live. No swarms of flies will be found there. In this way you will know that I, the Lord, am in the land, and I will make a distinction between my people and your people. God's purpose for protecting the righteous is to make a distinction through his supernatural protection from those who belong to him, from those who belong to the world, so that men will know that God is in the land. This is why God will do what he says. And that's important. God is going to provide a supernatural protection over the atmosphere of the righteousness of God in Christ who belong to him, so that men will know that God is in the land. And so that's what was shown to me. I pray that you be encouraged in this word and not fearful, because God has not given us the spirit of fear, but God speaks and shows us what's to come so that we can be prepared, so that we can stand and be prepared in faith for him to provide, for him to protect, for him to give us direction, for him to give us instruction, for his wisdom to be released in us so we'll know what to do, how to do it, where to go, what to do. He prepares his people in advance. The days are long gone of COVID-19, and we seem to always be in a place where we are easily able to forget what that was like because we weren't prepared for that. But God is preparing us for the things in these last days that are to come. And so I pray that you be encouraged. Be encouraged. Be encouraged, loved one, because God is faithful to do that what he said. God is going to do what he said. So be blessed, everyone.